Hello and welcome to a new episode of our video series, Coming Home, Life After SAS. My name is Viviana Premazzi. I was Intercultural Communication Specialist for Voyage 134. Together with me, there is Emma DeCaro, ASL interpreter. And today we have a very special guest from the student community, Maria. Then in a moment, I will ask you, Maria, to introduce yourself. But what I can already, I think, tell people to introduce you is that you're very international and you will also for like where based. And I think you really brought an international perspective to our voyage and like to the different courses you participate. And so I think that was really, it's also like the beauty and the richness of semester at sea, that if there is a majority of US students, there are also students from all over the world. And this really helped people to broaden their horizons, despite the fact that in any case, semester at sea is going to 10 different countries. But the ship itself is already a place of diversity, like an international and global mindset development, as I like to call it. So welcome, Maria. And my first question, I just ask you to introduce yourself to our audience.
Thank you so much for the introduction, and also thank you for having me. I'm Maria again. I'm currently studying at Carnegie Mellon University in their Qatar campus, and I'm a senior who will be graduating hopefully in 2 months.
Amazing. And so if you want to explain for the people that didn't do semester at sea or they don't have idea, what is semester at sea and what was semester at sea for you?
Semester at sea, like before, if you asked me the same questions, like before I did the semester at sea, I would say, oh, that's an amazing program where you get to travel 10 different countries and you meet new people and you also study on a cruise ship. So I would define in that way, but now if I need to define it, I would say it's much more than that. It's not just like studying abroad, but it's more like you get to know people, you get to have like a totally new like perspective about the world, and there's so much more to it. Like you meet people, you hang out with new friends, and you also try new food, you have like new idea about yourself, like you explore your own identity, you explore like other people's identity. There's so much more. So I would say semester at sea for me was like a very eye-opening chapter for of my own life, and I would always keep that memory like with me.
Thank you. That's a beautiful way of describing it. And I think for many of us, like we had some ideas, some expectations, something that was like, let's say on paper or we read somewhere.
Mhm.
But then, yeah, we had a totally different or partially different, or it was like more than we expected. And so that's also the beauty. Thank you for sharing this. So then we came back, like we disembarked in December in Bangkok. And what do you miss the most about semester at sea?
There's like so many things to miss, and it's so hard to pick one. For me, I would say like if I had to pick one, I would say all my friends because I used to hang out with them a lot, and they also like broaden my perspective too. To be honest, like whenever I would hang out with them, we would talk about different things, and it's not just about traveling; it's about like our own life, about our own like a lot of things that we were doing at that time. So I would miss my friends, but more to that, I also miss like traveling part. So whenever I feel like when people ask me now like how which country was your favorite or which country do you miss most, I always say it's so hard to pick one country because everything we learn like in each country is so different from the other country, and it's so hard to pick one. And I would say like everything in general is so hard. Like I think I miss everything, and I'm pretty sure I'm actually planning to do one more time at least in future. So I'll see how that goes.
Oh, amazing. Maybe as a faculty, who knows?
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Good, good. And I think it's something that you just mentioned. I'm sure I read on some like Instagram posts of one of our student colleague that say it was always like it was about the people. And it's something I think we all here share. Like, yeah, it was about the places, it was about the traveling, but it was also about the traveling and the places with the people. And not only to have fun, but also for like the conversation that we had, how deep also we were able to connect and share. And this is something, it's important also for us to reflect because maybe it's something we we still need in our life. And so the question is where and how we can get this also in our other relationships. So thank you. Now, on the other side, tell us, I know it's difficult to pick, but one of your favorite memories, like one day or one situation or one place or one person, or what one of your favorite or more, one or more favorite memories?
There's actually a lot. I would say, like, in terms of favorite memories on the ship, I would say my favorite one was like having different lunches or meals with professors. Sometimes, because for me, my goal was like to connect or network with more people, like as many people as possible, and also get to know their life experience, their journeys, and why they do what they do. So every time when I was having meals, I was trying to like connect with new people, talk with new people. So that was one of the best experience or most memorable experience that I had on the ship. And outside the ship, like when we were in the country, I would say like I think one of my favorite memory was when I was traveling in Africa as well as in Vietnam. So, because this countries where like I didn't expect this will be like that. Because my experience or what I had known before going to those countries was like, oh, those are pretty country. There are like people, the culture is different. But when I was in those countries, like so much different. Like when what I learned in Ghana was like as people are not only about like their identities, they work hard, they have so much more to it. And also like when we were in Vietnam, I would never actually thought about going to Vietnam as a travel like destinations, but when I was there, it's like so much developed like as a country itself, and people were there so nice, and even in terms of technology. So all these things like this tiny travel memories are like combined together. Is I'm gonna miss them all. And I think I would say like Vietnam was one of my favorite countries, like in terms of tourist destinations or travel destination.
Thank you. That's beautiful. Also, it's like challenging like the stereotypes or the ideas or the
Yeah.
expectation that we have about places. Yeah, I think that was also something that happened to many of us. And something that I think I know you did because we had lunch like a couple of times on the ship, but maybe it's also a suggestion for future SAS students, also the importance of being proactive, because actually like 4 months can seem like a long time, but also it goes quite quickly. And so if you are proactive, and I remember you since kind of the first days, you were reaching out to a professor for having lunch together, try to plan something. And this is really, if you have some goals, that's the best way to also be proactive and make them, make your plan and then like execute your plan. So that's so very well done to you on this.
I will, if I may add on to that, like to be honest, when I started, like the first we started in September, right? So when I was there on the first month, I was thinking, oh yeah, we have 4 months. I will start doing things at the like, okay, and this second month or sometimes. But when you're in the middle, it's really hard. Like if you feel like there's so little time to do so much more things, and also there's gonna be so many information, like so much information to process, and the time is also very limited. So it's really like I would recommend for everyone who would do it to start doing things little early and also start processing all those informations like when you're doing those things rather than putting them for later to process, because it really helps to process on when you're doing actually.
Absolutely. Thank you. So now my kind of last couple of questions, and also the reason why we are doing this. So we came home, and we know for some people it was easier, for some people it was less easier, but also there are like some issues we are all struggling to a different extent. So how was coming back for you, and what were the main struggle or the main challenges that you want to share?
I would say it was a lot harder than I expected. For me, I love traveling, so I traveled a lot before. So I thought, okay, it would be a lot easier because I know how like what happens when I go back. But once I came back from semester C and I started my classes, it was like this is so like unusual because when we were having the classes on the ship, it's like we can see outside like the sea and the wave and sometimes dolphin or shark. I don't know, that's crazy. And when we came back, at least when I came back, I was like, this is such a stable life, and I think I got used to it with all this like go go go, like that mode. So I think for me that was like kind of the struggle, like getting used to it with more stable lifestyle than like always traveling, always doing something new. So, and another thing I think I struggled was also like um because for semester or see when I was doing it, felt like I was always meeting new people, and here like when I'm in my school, it's more of like I know all the people here, so there's like nothing necessarily new happening every day. So I was feeling a little bored. Okay, where's next? What's going on? What I'm planning for the day? So it's like felt a little bored, and at the same time, the other struggle, like the third one that I faced mostly was like sharing those memories. So whenever I still talk with all my friends like from semester C, I text them, but it's so hard to like keep up with them because most of them like live in US or somewhere else, and the time difference is super like bad. So whenever I'll text, it's like so hard to keep track of those. But at the same time, I want to talk about all those memories, but it's so hard to talk about those memories here because I'm kind of like the first person who did from my campus semester six, so not many people actually know about it, and so it's so hard to like share all those memories, or so hard to like talk about them. So I think that was like the third struggles that I have faced.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I think that the three of them, again, very, very important and very also kind of common, or we expect it, but then when they eat them, they eat harder. And so thank you for sharing this. And I think many people can relate, and that's important. That's one of the reasons why we're doing this. And so for one or the three or two of them, there is any strategy that you are like putting in place to cope with this re-entry, or any like resource that you have found and you want to share?
I actually I think I was texting you about that too. Like I really appreciate all the talks we had, or all the discussions we had during the classes or even outside the classes about like how the reentry things will be, or how the reverse culture shocks is gonna be. I guess those discussions really helped my like mindsets or goals. Like for example, the third point that I mentioned, like it was hard for me to share about my memories, or share or talk about those things with other people. So I guess like when we were having like similar discussions, like discussions about that point during classes, and I think having those conversations really helped. And I think it's very hard to find resources, at least around my campus, because not many people has done that. So it's very hard to find resources around it. But I guess those conversations really help. And for me, like the other strategy that I followed was like, okay, bringing back those knowledge that I learned. So something, for example, I really liked how, what are the things I learned in my intercultural communication classes. So I was trying to bring back those learnings in my own campus with the DIB community. So I was like trying to connect somehow like my experience, or my experience with the current things that I'm doing, so that way I can still feel somehow connected. So I think that was one strategy that I was following, and it did help me, to be honest. It helped with at least bringing back some of the things, or also like stay connected with other people that I have talked with in the semester C. So that was helpful.
Yeah. Beautiful. I think this is a beautiful suggestion, and on kind of a question for everyone, how we can make relevant what we learn on the ship in our current life. And so kind of make this connection and see that thing that we learn, it's worthy here also. And so I can keep also this connection, the same enthusiasm, or make it even more worthy than it was. Thank you. I think that's a great suggestions. And thank you for all what you share with us. I think it was very, very important. Thank you everyone for following this episode, and we're gonna meet you for like the next one, another great interview. Thank you everyone. Thank you, Emma. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.